today we're starting out leg day with single leg hamstring curls. I started with my weaker leg, which is usually my right one. My left hamstring is pretty strong, so then I started that one, really engaging the muscle, taking the pace kind of nice and slow, not too fast, not too spastic. I did about 25 reps there. Then I go over to this machine. I did not superset this because this movement right here is extremely intense. So the key thing is making sure that you're using a V-squat, and when you go down, you have to hit a little clink at the bottom. If it does not clink, you have not gotten the full range of motion. Now, if you're injured or anything like that, I wouldn't suggest doing this movement at all because it's going to force you. You're going to tap out pretty quickly. It's going to force you to use everything you have to get up in terms of your lower body. So key thing is here, finding a neutral stance with the foot, gauging all the way down to the bottom of the motion and squeezing up at the top. Now, once you get done with this, if you get to failure before you get to your desired rep range, you will then hop to the movement that will be right after this clip, okay? So if say you have 25 reps you want to hit, you only get to 10, you finish out the last 15 reps right here, okay? You can do it on a sissy squat or you can do it on a regular bench, anything like that. But the goal is to make sure you're keeping the same stance you had on the machine. So if you're doing hamstrings, make sure that foot is far enough away so that you're engaging the hamstring and that glute the same way you were on the machine. From there, we're going to jump over to leg press. It's one of my favorite leg presses in that house. It really engages the quads, kind of just how I like it. There's certain ones that get more in my hips, so I'd rather it be more in the muscle than in my joints. So we're going to bust out the reps here. So again, as usual, I'm doing 25 reps, 20 reps, 15 reps. That's my rep range between 15 and 25. So I stick to that rep range year round until I'm with my coach in prep and he kind of decides what I'm doing there. So here I'm taking the time to push it up, push it down, really controlling the concentric and the eccentric motion, making sure that I'm getting the most bang in my buck on the way up and the way down, keeping that tension on there. So this style of training is going to be called time under tension. So it means you're not using momentum to throw the weight up and letting it fall down on you. You're controlling the up and the down, making sure that your feet are neutral. If you want to do this version of leg press, I keep it about hip width, engage the core, keep everything nice and tight, glutes pressed against the pad, and I go down to where my knees touch my chest more so, but really more so my quads touch my rib cage. That's the full range of motion for me. So figure out where your full range of motion is and stick to that, or you can do partials if that works for you. I've done it all. So find which works the best, stick to it, switch it up, and decide kind of what your foot placement wants to be for that time frame. So this leg press is specifically for quad. So I have my feet down a little bit lower and I'm engaging that way. I'm finishing out over here with leg extension. So on this machine, it leans me back. We have about maybe 15 different leg extension machines in that house. So I choose this option when I want to kind of really get into the femoris, aka the middle piece of that quad. So I'm getting that full extension, and that lean back allows to go all the way up into my hip flexors. So I choose a good weight here so that I control it. Well, I'm not flinging the weight, but I'm also not fully in this type of leg extension focusing on the full squeeze. For this, it's going to be a faster pace and a squeeze. So that's a switch up for me because I usually do everything very slowly. On certain movements, I do like to speed it up just to kind of change up the pace, make sure my body isn't used to the motion. Now, we're going to go straight from the leg extension into your sissy squats, okay? I have to do plate loaded because after a while, it gets pretty light just to do my body weight. So I switch over to a 25-pound plate. Goal is to drop the glutes down but not have your upper body tilt too far forward. So imagine yourself being pinched between the wall at the top of the body. You want to glide down the wall and come back up. Now, when it comes to how far you stand up, that'll be dependent on what you're trying to do. If you want more tension in the quads, you won't come up completely with the legs straight. If you're okay with coming up and you still get a good quad squeeze at the top, do that.